and stuff like that. We don't know what's going on behind the screen. Do we know if they're wearing a mask, if they sanitize their hands before, coming in or entering and whatever. So I'm not really surprised with Khloe, with this. And then maybe they came out later with it because, when it comes to the Kardashians, there's always some sort of backlash that happens. They'll be like, oh, she's a mother too, so what about her daughter, or
That's
so on and
true.
so on. So I'm not really surprised. But what about you? How do you feel about this? I mean, do
Yeah,
you
I
keep
mean,
up with the Kardashians?
I do. I'm not like I don't watch their show religiously, but what like if their name's in the headlines, I'll check it out and read the articles. With regards to this though, I wasn't too surprised either to hear that Chloe came down with COVID. I mean, this virus has been making its way around the entertainment industry and also the sports world. So it didn't really surprise me when I heard that another celebrity or sports figure has contracted the virus, especially Khloe Kardashian. I think the reason why the Kardashians waited so long to share the news is because they have a TV show. I mean, a platform that's way better than, any social media network to showcase this. And I think just given, how high profile the Kardashians are, they thought, what better way to make people aware of COVID and how dangerous it is than to showcase it on our TV show instead of making it, just a very one dimensional social media post. Oh, I have COVID, be sure to wear a mask. In this case, it's better to show everyone what she was dealing with and how her recovery process looked like. I think it would be kind of just, it would make a stronger impact
I think I
on
think that
TV.
I think that kind of reminds me of today's episode, right? Now that you have your own show, I feel like, instead of telling everyone what you were gonna be, I thought you were gonna be a zebra. Oh my goodness.
I was thinking about it. It's over there. The zebra onesie is over there. And I was thinking, you know what? I was thinking about it, but no, I found this costume very last minute. Like I wore this like 6 years ago and I never touched it again. And I found
Really?
it. I found it in my closet, like way at the back. And I was like, wow, if this thing still fits, like I'll be so surprised. And to be honest, like it fits tad tight, but it does fit. So yeah, so I
Mhm.
thought I'd throw this one on. I think it looks a little nicer for the camera as opposed to a zebra onesie.
Yeah,
But
I feel like it has much more of a bigger impact, as we were saying, just because like today, instead of announcing it, you came on the show, you held it, came on the show and just did it, even if it was in the last minute, like, it just has a bigger impact. So definitely I feel like you're speaking from experience here now. You know what I mean? So,
hey,
like
I had no idea what costume you were wearing today either.
really, I really wanted to be a fortune teller. Like I've always wanted to do that. I think last year, like, before I was doing Queen Cleopatra, that was kind of similar, and like stuff like that. But I really, really wanted to. And I was thinking of something more scarier, but this is not scary, is it? No.
No, it looks fun. Like
Okay.
it's very like Halloweeny. If
Halloweeny.
that
I love that word. Today's episode of
exactly.
Halloweeny. Welcome back.
Yeah, we should do like one special show once a year and just call it Halloweeny and have it be
Halloween.
like a 24-hour show on Halloween.
So.
Um but yeah, anyway, I want to get back to the Kardashians and just celebrities in general. Do you think
To be honest, I think I expected more athletes. I know a lot of athletes tested positive for COVID, but I think I expected. Didn't you expect more athletes to kind of test positive because they're in the game, they're mingling with others, rather than celebrities? I feel like they have more of the privilege and opportunity to stay home, quarantine, and like do that. But maybe because they like need to keep up appearance, maybe it made it difficult. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought more athletes would have tested positive for sure, just because they're in locker rooms together, they're in a team environment as well, and they just come in contact with so many people, like their teammates and their management and everything like that. So I was a little surprised that more didn't test positive. But with regards to celebrities, I feel like they too kind of live that lifestyle where they're always in contact with their management team. Obviously, it's on a much smaller scale when it comes
Mhm.
to, in comparison with athletes. But yeah, it was surprising. I mean, like the odd athlete did test positive, but I was surprised it didn't spread to the entire team, just like I thought
Mhm.
it would.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I definitely think that. And as we're talking about COVID as well, just all stay safe out there. You know what I mean? Today's a virtual episode of Halloween, but I don't know. I think there's some cities that are giving fines for trick or treating and stuff like that. But if you could just buy some candy. I know we're gonna talk about it at the end of the show, but and we'll talk more about that. But, you know, like, this is exciting. I feel like it's a new year, new things. I love trying new things. You know what I mean? Like, this is different, you know? So let's get it to it, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, live chats is new, so this is fun. Um, but yeah, so I want to actually get to Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton here. I mean, how happy are you that after, 5 years of dating, these two recording artists have finally gotten engaged? And I feel like this was, a long time coming. Like I said, 5 years, and we're finally here. They are engaged. And what I loved about it was reported that Blake Shelton did it in a very traditional way. He literally asked Gwen Stefani's father for his blessing, and you don't really hear that often nowadays. Like, the traditional old-fashioned way of going about getting married is just so lost in today's society. And here you have Blake Shelton, of all people, doing it the old-fashioned way, like asking her dad, for goodness sake. Like, kudos to him for doing that. So how do you feel about their engagement? Are you a fan of them?
I am, I was a fan of them. Like, I was a fan of Gwen Stefani way before. Like, I haven't been really into country, but I do love some of Blake's songs there. And, I'm taking out the two cards here, the king and queen in the mix, right? Ooh. And here, I know. And, I think it's really surprising that, like, both of their professions, right? They're both singers, artists here, and then here they are together, like, this is just one of those, like, amazing moments. And then even on The Voice, I think I didn't even know they were, like, dating for a while, you know what I mean, and everything like that. I was like, they have just so completely different vibes. Like, for Gwen Stefani, like, the song that's always in my head is the, Sweet Escape, like, if I can escape.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. So it's my favorite one.
Yeah, me too. So I'm just like, wow, she's just so wild and stuff. And then he's just more, I don't want to say tamed because it seems like animal word, but more, you know what I mean? Just different. So I feel like both of them are really such a good match. Opposites attract, too. So hopefully they just have a well and blessed marriage. I'm so excited for them. And wait, so you said that he got the blessing from her father and everything like that?
It was reported that that's what he did. Like, he went very old school. And, I'm very surprised because he's Blake Shelton. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who wouldn't say yes to Blake Shelton? So I'm very surprised that, he went the old school route and asked her father for his blessing. And he seems very old fashioned and, like, very sweet. And wow, my hat's like disappearing. Magic. But anyway, happy Halloween. I have no hat. But yeah, so, like, I was really surprised that he went that route, and that actually made me like him even more. But I want to go back to what you just said about how you didn't really know that they were dating, because this is how I found out that they were dating. So I was on Spotify just going through Blake Shelton songs, and I saw that he did a duet with Gwen Stefani, and I was like, well, that's a little strange, like, as you said, kind of opposites, right? So I was like, interesting. So I clicked on the song, and I loved it.
How was it?
I loved it. It was, like, a really good song. And
is it country? Is it Gwen Stefani style? What kind of
country?
Like, flavor?
It is country for sure. Like,
Gwen
it's country
Stefani
through
in a country song.
Yeah. And I thought, wow, like, this is really good. And, like, they had so much emotion in their voice. So that was the first time I heard them together, right? But I didn't know that they were dating. Fast forward, like,
also, by the way, for the viewers here today, I don't know if you guys know but Jen is an artist herself. Oh my goodness. So here you are talking about artists, and you're an artist yourself. I mean, in terms of, like, genres of music and stuff like that too, would you say that you're more of a fan within the country kind of music as well, or more like pop mainstream, or what is it for you too? Because I mean, we need your professional opinion here. Oh my goodness.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, not far from professional, but no, I think it's weird because so I've been putting out pop R&B songs for the longest time now, but yet I grew up actually singing country music. And like, I love George Strait and, like, Rascal Flatts and Martina McBride and all this stuff. And so it's funny.
That wasn't in the cards. I
was like, yeah, like, I mean, you should have told my fortune there. But no. So I've decided to make the switch. I've been putting out pop music for so long, but I have a country side to me that I've never really explored. So I'm gonna put out a country single in the new year. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I love country, so it'll be good.
gosh. Well, you're not really making the switch though, but you are exploring other themes. That's what you're saying, right? Like,
Kind of, yeah. Like I have like the single's done and I've heard
mhm.
it and I'm just waiting to set a release date for it. It's kind of summery,
Wow.
so it'll probably be like more towards the springtime because like it's almost Christmas. Like no one wants to hear about summer anymore. But
Mhm.
yeah. So like I like it and I'm thinking, you know what? Like as much as I love pop music, I love country too. So I'll probably make the switch officially to country in the new year. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm
Oh
thinking.
my gosh. That
Yeah.
is such a big surprise on the first episode of
Oh
Life
yeah.
Chats. Here we are, ZINGOTV channel 250 and 251. Oh my goodness.
Oh
This is
yeah.
super exciting. I can't even believe, I'm on the country, Jen. What? Hopefully on an episode of Life Chats down the line, you give us a little like sneak peek, a little flavor, like I'm
Oh yeah.
super excited for
Oh
that.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, continue.
Yeah, so I want to get to another recording artist we know and maybe love. He happens to be fellow Canadian. He had some exciting news to share. Stratford, Ontario native and pop R&B superstar Justin Bieber has recently made his
Yay.
way back into the charts, headlines, and now our computer screens. Following the success of his latest singles, Holy and Lonely, the 26-year-old singer is also releasing a free-to-watch documentary on YouTube this Friday called Next Chapter. It'll be 30 minutes and it's going to shed light on his life in quarantine with his wife and also just personal reflections on his faith and his success. So, Sam, tell me, Justin Bieber, he's been making headlines since 2009, since he rose to fame. But he's also had some dark times too. And in his other series, Justin Bieber Seasons, he outlined that he was, heavily involved into drugs and he had to cancel his Purpose tour. So I'm wondering, do you think the public will receive the new Justin Bieber well? Or do you think we've become so cynical as a society that we're just going to be like, oh, he's just doing that to sell records. I'm sure he's not struggling like he says he is or anything like that. So like, what's your take?
I think that when it comes to, you see, like with Justin Bieber, he's not just an artist who just kind of came up. I feel like he was kind of attached to Disney. Do you know what I mean by kind of like that, with Baby and all that featuring
That's
on
true.
Family Channel and stuff like that. So when it comes to these type of artists, I kind of look at him as someone like Miley Cyrus. And like, even though she's a grown woman now, she's, been engaged and all of that, went through all of her type of life journey and everything like that, people still look at her as if she was a child, even though she has her own kind of thing going on. But because she was like really interconnected with Disney, you know what I mean? I feel like they always, we grew up with these type of people, right? So,
Right.
with Justin Bieber, we grew up with him. So when he got, had his first charges or, was speeding too fast, have the race cars and drugs and stuff like that, we're like, oh, this kid, somebody, and then he goes meets the president in like some like different type of outfit, and we're like, what is this even appropriate? We constantly look at him like he's a kid. Even when I talk to my mother or whatever, she's like, oh, he's married? What's going on? Isn't he just a little boy? He's 17. I'm like, he's not
Yeah.
17, mother. Like, but I feel like, maybe hopefully, I know when they try to establish themselves on their own as artists, it depends how the audience takes it. But for this case, again, I think that people will still have that little stigma or perception, just like how they have on Miley, and look at him in a different way that's just like that. So, I hope all goes well. I don't want to tell the cards too soon and then, but I hope all goes well with that. But I mean, how do you feel about this? How do you think that he would be viewed in the situation too?
You know, unfortunately, these celebrities, they all kind of have their group of haters that don't
Mhm.
believe a word that they say. Like I think those haters just happen to look at celebrities like, "Oh, you have it all. You have, fancy cars, fancy house. You got, millions of fans who love you wherever you go." And like, what could possibly be going wrong in your life right now? Like that's how I
Mhm.
think these people look at it. I'm not one of those people. I mean, Bieber was thrown into this at 13 years old. And at that age, you don't know what you're signing up for. You can't comprehend being famous at that age, especially the level of fame that Justin Bieber had. Like, he was absolutely massive.
Mhm.
And so I do believe that he does have these mental struggles where, he didn't really have a normal life. He had this very Miley Cyrus esque life, and I think he was kind of rebelling because he had no idea what he missed out on. And I think he did kind of miss out on some kind of childhood like a Michael Jackson did. And I think you have all of these stars who run into trouble because of that. So I believe Justin. I think he's going through a lot of things, and I think he's in a better place now. And I personally I was a massive fan of Justin Bieber back when I was like 16 years old.
Really?
Like,
What did you have? Did you have any
oh
like,
my goodness.
of him?
You have no idea. I had posters. I had the cardboard cutout. I went to his concerts. Like, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. Oh, my hat's falling off. Oh, it's gone. But anyway,
were you like a fan that's like, oh my gosh, I really want to be his friend, or like I want to be his girlfriend?
You know what? It wasn't really either of those. I was more like kind of like, I mean, I really liked his story, Never Say Never. Like, being a singer myself, like I was in that era where I kind of needed an idol. And I loved Chris Angel too, but he wasn't a singer. So I could only relate to Chris Angel so far. But Justin, he's right around the corner, like an hour away from me. And I thought, well, like, if he can make it, like, why can't I sing, So like I needed, like, I looked at him as almost like an idol. So like when I went to his concerts, it was like, yo, like, if you can be there, maybe I could be there one day. And like, you've really inspired me and all this. So that's kind of why I became a fan. Like, yeah, obviously I think every girl thinks he was like really cute when he was like 16 and 17, but I was never going to his concerts like, oh, I'm marrying this guy. Like, this is exactly what I'm doing. No. Yeah, so I do think Bieber's telling the truth. And I think this documentary will be well received for the most part, just like his new songs were. Like Holy and Lonely, they debuted on the charts, and he's done well. But I do think there's going to be a percentage of people who are like, you know what? Sorry, I'm just not buying it. Your life's perfect. And yeah.
Wow. I love having this conversation with you. Will, I know we have like 2 minutes left, but I hope we can continue this tonight at 10 p.m., on the Barn Burners TV network on ZINGOTV channel 250 tonight at 10. Tune in to that. Jen, how can we get a hold of you on social media?
Well, Sam, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Jen Connor Music. That's JENNCONNORMUSIC. That's again Jen Connor Music on Instagram and Twitter. And what are your social media handles?
For me, you guys can find me on Instagram at Samantha_media and on Twitter at Samantha_media with an extra A at the end. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do you have any last announcements, Jen?
Of course, yeah. This show can be heard on the Barn Burner Radio Network on its 122 platforms. The H.E.R Network is part of the Barn Burner Radio Network. Please check out barnburner.ca for all of the news and programming information. Barn Burner, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. We will see you next week, Thursday at 6:30.
Yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I love your costume. Are you going to go outside today, Jen? No?
No, I don't think I want to scare the neighbors with this ridiculous costume. I
just check the mail downstairs, so I'm like, hopefully nobody's
One quick question for you, Sam. What was your most memorable Halloween moment ever?
I think this is becoming a memorable Halloween moment. Live television, here we are. All Halloween, we're always just trick-or-treating outside, but here we are. Can you imagine? Just on live right now with our costumes. I don't even know.
I know, you know what?
People like.
I know, like, trick-or-treating, it doesn't even compare to this at this point.
It doesn't.
Like, we're sitting Pardon?
Do you have candy too there? Like, I don't know. Did you buy anything?
Oh, I bought candy. You cannot, like, celebrate Halloween without candy. I'll be picking out on the candy watching Justin Bieber's documentary tomorrow. That's literally my plan. Like, I have nothing else going on but that. So, wow. Oh man, that's so funny.
Yeah, well, over and out. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I'm like, this is our first episode. Are we done? Are you still on? Like, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you tonight at 10.
Definitely 10 o'clock. We will be back on Barn Burner Live, 10 to 10:20. I will see you then, Sam. Thanks so much for joining me today.
All right.
All right.
We're saying
see
bye.
You later.
Bye. No? All right. Okay. Well.
See